Hey, what's up, everybody? Tonville Middle School here. I figured I'd share a story about a time that I cheated on several tests in 7th grade. You know, 7th grade during my middle school experience was pretty fun, I would say. We had some good times, went on a few field trips. But my middle school experience, I did some pretty dumb stuff, and cheating was one of them. For this most part, let me just say right off the bat, let me just say that cheating is absolutely wrong. I do not condone or advocate cheating in the slightest. Do not cheat, no matter what grade you're in. No cheating at all. That's what I believe in. Do not cheat. Cheating is wrong. With all that being said, I did some pretty dumb stuff when I was a kid. And yeah, cheating on some tests in 7th grade was not exactly a smart decision that I made. Very bad decision, in fact. But let me explain how it all happened. It was in 7th grade during my history class. We were learning about the state capitals, learning about different state capitals. It wasn't really interesting. How many are you going to even see the capitals you're even learning about? Like, are you going to go to to Alaska and see Juneau? Are you going to go to Oklahoma and see Oklahoma City? You know what I mean? Like, we were learning about different capitals, the different states. It wasn't really all that fun. But I really wanted to get some really good grades, so I had a plan in order to cheat on the tests. I was sitting in the back row, with a few other students that weren't really paying attention. My plan was to sneak over to the backpack, use my feet to pull the backpack towards me when it was still open, pull out the notes, secretly read the capitals that I wrote down for the different states, sneak the books back into my bag, and then continue the test. So, I know that it was a very bad decision on my part, and I shouldn't have done it. Cheating is very wrong, but it makes a pretty good story time, I have to admit. So the first test came up. The teacher's back was turned. He was working on at his desk working on something. I don't know what he was working on. The rest of the class was busy focused on their exams. Everybody was nobody seemed to be paying attention to what I was doing. Nobody was looking in my direction. So I'm sure everybody was looking at their exams and nobody was paying attention to what I was doing. I just simply pushed the backpack towards me with my foot. I pulled the backpack towards me. Yeah, I pulled the backpack towards me because it was open. I left it open before the test began, before the class, just in case. So I pulled the backpack towards me. The notes are right in my bag. I pull the back towards me with my leg. I kick it towards me. I open the bag as quickly as possible. I find the notes with the capitals, the state capitals, the states we were working on. There's 10 questions on it. I find the states with the capitals that I need to find. So I find those capitals. Right, I wrote it down on the test after reading it from my book. Then after I wrote down all the capitals for the states that were on the test, I put the book quickly as possible back into the bag. I wait a few minutes just to make sure that no one suspects anything. I just look around, and stuff. And then once I'm sure that I can handle the test without anybody getting suspicious, I turn it into the teacher, hand it over. Then I get the exam back a few days later with the 100 on it. So it was obvious that my cheating ring had worked pretty well. So I decided to try it again for my second test. So I do the same strategy. I pull the backpack to kick the backpack towards me with my feet. Because it's still open. Nobody else is looking. I pulled out the book with all the capitals for the states that that the second test was asking for. Different states, different capitals. So I write those capitals down for the states. The second test was asking. So I wrote down the capitals. Then I put the book back into the bag. I put the book away. Then I just wait a few minutes, wait for the correct moment. Correct timing. So I give the test to the teacher. A few days later, I get the test back with another 100. So 2 100s in a row. I think I can keep the ball going. So my third test comes up, and I do the same exact thing. I kick the backpack towards me when it's still open. I look at the capitals for the states that the test is asking for, make sure nobody else is looking, write them down as quickly as possible. Then I put the backpack back. Yeah, I put the backpack I put the notes back into the backpack, into my bag. I push it away from me, Then I write down then I wrote it down for all the states, the capitals that they were asking for. Then I hand my test into the teacher once I'm sure that the time is right. I hand the test into the teacher, then I just, get another 100, 3 100s in a row. So I get 3 perfect scores for the exams, and I'm thinking that things cannot possibly go wrong. So I'm just waiting for the right moment, to do it again. So I do it again for the 4th time. I grab the backpack, pull it towards me. Yeah, I pull it towards me. I open the backpack, pull out the sheets with the with the capitals for the states that the test was asking for. I start writing them down. Then I submit it. I submit it once I write it down, like for the capitals for the states that the test is asking for. I do all that. Then I put my notes away. Then then I put the notes away. Then I like close the backpack, push the bag away from me. Then I wait a few minutes. Then hand the test to the teacher, and then I get my fourth 100 in a row. So 4 100s in a row, and I think that nothing can possibly go wrong. It seems like as if I can get away with this shit. But then the fifth test comes up, and this is where I screwed up pretty badly. Like, I didn't get caught cheating, but it still looked pretty bad. So I do the strategy for the fifth time. I grab the bag, with my feet, I push it towards me, open the bag, pull out the notes with the capitals for the different states that the fifth test is asking for. Write down those capitals, except for one question. One question I actually wrote down the capital for another state, so I ended up getting a 95 on this test rather than a 100. It was still a good grade, don't get me wrong, but I'm amazed the teacher didn't catch on to it, like he didn't get suspicious or anything. But it was a pretty fun experiment, I would say. However, I learned from the situation. I realized that cheating is wrong. I realized that I shouldn't be doing it, and I decided to do my tests more fairly from now on. I'm not proud of the person I was in middle school, cheating on exams. I wished I hadn't done it. I regret it now, obviously, but I have to admit it was pretty funny. No one seemed to suspect anything, no one got suspicious, and no one seemed to even question it. But I know now that it was wrong, and I should have done things differently, and I shouldn't have done it. I realize that now. Cheating is wrong. Do not cheat. But yeah, that's the time I cheated in 7th grade. I learned from the situation, and I hope that you learn a lesson from this video. Don't cheat. It's not worth it. It's just too much. It was just too much stress having to push the backpack towards me, push the bag away from me. I mean, it's just a lot to have to go through, honestly. It's better just to study and do it the right way, so you don't have to worry. So you don't have to worry about the risks involved in cheating. But that's all I gotta say. Yeah, those are my thoughts about how I cheated in 7th grade. And stay safe, everybody. Tonville Middle School, out. Yeah, another video from the Tonville Middle School channel. Don't cheat.